Plus, I'm responsible of the EV car chargers in the Baltic team. That means that if you have some difficult or different questions about EV cars, chargers, you can just ask me. I will introduce something about BayWa Baltic teams. I have already opened the BayWa web shop or web page. You can see that we have a very nice look. And if you push the button in the right side in the top and open the contacts, you can find our different entities. Our main office is in Riga, where is our main stock warehouse. And second one entities we have in Lithuania. About different entities, you can contact to different guys because there is mostly written the, how to say, manager of the country. In Lithuania is Olegas, and in Estonia, where I am sitting right now, it's in that's I am. And if you roll down, you can see the all employees that we have in Baltic. It's a Latvian team. We have 2 guys in Lithuania and 2 guys in Estonia, most part in Latvia. So, what's more? Do you know, really, I don't know, it's a question, but do you know who is your contact person in your country? 0 answers. But probably you know, yes, of course. What I like to show more, it's a web shop. It's if you open the main page, probably you need to have login passwords. You can get in that from your contact person. And after that, you can show the prices and availability of the stock. And on the top is different buttons. If you just click the button, then we'll show the different types of the products. We have different kind of modules, EV modules. If the where is marked, that's discounted product. So you can choose on left side manufacturers, different sizes, or power. And you can use the filter. The second brand that we can offer, it's a different kind of inverters. And the left side is the same filter. You can use it. And roll down and then click to the next page. You can find it all inverters what we're offering. So, and the third one is inverter accessories. You need to just choose what kind of, I don't know, topic you're choosing or something. There is on just different size of the accessories for the inverters. So next one is mounting system. As you know, the BayWa brand's own just kind of like mounting system like Novotegra, that's own brand. We are producing it in Germany. So let's open something here. There's different kind of metal parts, screws and clamps and so on. So next one is energy storage. It's very popular right now. We have different kind of sets, or you can choose it by dish by one on one. It's BMS or the battery. So next one, installation. Here you can find different kind of cables, breakers or something. Solar cables, example. Different cables, different brands. MC4s, connection. So next one is sets. There's 2 sets. Just mostly we are selling storage system by each. But you can collect it like Lego. And last one is what we have right now in promotions. Different kind of discounts. So it's a quick overview about TapShop, and what's more. But today we have topic like charger, EV charger. What kind of chargers we are offering? Mostly we have at stock 3 different type of chargers. We have Fronius, we have Huawei, we have ABB. So it's Autolease too, but it's just it's by order. It's not at stock. And different type of the ABB, there are some types at stock and some types that you can order it. If you log in, you can see everything about price and about availability. So why we have choose the ABB to be our partner? Because they are very good product, I think so. They are well-known brand. They have from if they don't have no, they don't have in Latvian stock. They have on Sweden stock. The delivery is very fast, and I think that the ABB have a very good technical feedback. That's main thing, and that's a good point here to give the speak over to the ABB sales specialist to Henrys. But first of all, I need to say that if you have some questions about this topic, you can raise hand on the Teams or just write in the chat. Okay, Henrys, that's your part. Now you can hold.
Thank you, Melis. Yeah,
Okay,
warm welcome to everybody, and thank you, BayWa, of course, for organizing this. I will try to share my screen, and yeah, if anybody has some questions about my presentation or anything in general, feel free to write them in the chat or in the QA. It doesn't matter. And let's start from my side. My name is Henrys, and I work in Latvian ABB for about 6 years now. And I work with the e-mobility products for about 2.5 years now. So I have some experience also in the field as an engineer, as a commissioner, as an installer. So I know pretty much everything in and out about ABB chargers. Of course, not all of them, but most of them. I know how to help a customer and then what to do. And so before, so just a second. Can you see my slide?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so just a small agenda about what am I gonna tell today about. So we'll split the meeting in like 2 parts. We'll talk about AC products or Terra AC product line. Mostly we'll talk about what ABB offers, about mobile apps, about a web portal, and also what's new about Terra AC product line and what's also coming. But then we'll talk about DC products. Mainly today we'll focus only in all-in-one solutions. That means that all the parts of the charger are built in one single unit, and not like we have a cabinet and then another post or pantograph solutions, or we have a lot of different products to offer. But today we'll talk about all-in-one solutions and also what's new about load management. And then at the end we'll have some Q&A. But if you have some questions in the meantime, we can also answer those. So we'll start with the question. I'll ask participants try to answer it honestly. Don't look everywhere. Just write in the chat like what are the main factors and technical needs, what are important if you want to install an EV charger. It doesn't matter where you want to install it, in your home or publicly, like what are the technical factors and needs. While you write it, we're gonna watch a small video about ABB chargers, what ABB is offering, and how the future looks. Just a small video.
It's without sound, yeah?
I think there is some sound, but
Ah.
maybe it is not.
Probably it's not important.
Yeah. I mean, the main part is for people to write and just look at beautiful pictures. Of course, also you knew, maybe some of you knew, but some of them don't, that ABB is a sponsor of eFormula for about 3 or 4 years. Maybe someone is a big fan of it. So let's see, do we have some answers? Can somebody stop sharing for a minute?
There is question, available power is the most important.
Yep, of course. Okay, I see Mix wrote that available power is the most important. Yep, definitely, I couldn't agree more. Since all of our devices are consuming power in our homes, in our offices, or everywhere we live, and also EVs mainly consume a lot of power. That's like the main factor. But I'll talk about some of the factors also which are not regarding power. So the main factors which we have to take in consideration when installing or choosing a charger, firstly, what type of car needs to be charged. It really depends on the brand of the car model, because every car has a different onboard inverter, which usually limits the power if we talk about AC charging. The next factor we should take in care is that how much time can you spend to charge your car. Maybe if you want to charge your car just overnight, and you could park it for 12 or more hours, maybe you don't even need a wall box. But if you want to charge it like in 2 or 3 hours, then definitely you need a charger. The next, as Mix also said, the main also problem is electrical connection in your location, like how many phases you have and how much amps you have your connection, because chargers usually take at least 16 amps. So that has to be taken. And how many chargers are needed, and will the electrical connection be enough for all the chargers? If you're installing a charging site with more than 3 or 4 chargers, you have to take in count that all the chargers sometime will be used at the same time, all the chargers. Maybe we need to think about load balancing solutions. Also, we need to think about other loads which are consuming electricity, how they are going to affect our total consumption when we are using EV chargers. Mounting is another part where we need to think about where the charger will stand on the wall, or we need like a pole or a pedestal where the charger will be mounted. And also it's important to think about if the charger will be for my use, for private use, or it will be a public, because when we install something publicly, it can always be damaged by third persons, so that has to be taken in account. And another big factor is, if we want to install a charger, do we have a space in our enclosures, or we need to install another enclosure where we will put in electrical protection devices such as MCBs and RCBs to protect the connection. So those are the main factors we have to think about it, and let's keep them in our head while we think about my slides. So about ABB in general, we mainly offer AC and DC charging solutions. To that, we offer our clients also digital offering, like applications, portals, some management systems, and then together we can create like an advanced site for businesses or even for everyday use. And we are in the middle of car manufacturing industry and energy industry as ABB. We're providing everything you see on the screen, so it's quite a lot to think. It's just not the charger, it's not just electrician who connects it, but there are a lot of points inside this circle which has to be taken. So let's start with the ABB product line of the full scope. And from on the left side, we can see that we have Terra AC, which is like the AC wall box. It starts from 3 to 22 kilowatts. Then we have the DC product. We have DC wall box, Terra 54. We will have a new product launching in the middle of next year. It's gonna call BC50. It will be a 50 kilowatt charger, but it will be in a small form, pretty similar to DC wall box. It will be mounted in the wall. You will have an option to have two CCS cables to charge two cars at the same time. Now we have our trusty Terra 94, 124, 184. Then we have a split system, which is called Terra HP or high power. Then we have Terra 360. And we have an also new product, which is already in testing right now. It's called A400. It will be a 400 kilowatt unit and available will be in Q2 2025. And also, as I mentioned in the beginning, ABB offers a lot of solutions for buses, for heavy trucks, for airports, mainly for industrial cars and heavy duty cars. Also, we have pantographs, chargers for bus depots, and so on. But those are topic for another day. So let's keep on going forward. So what's the difference between AC and DC charging? I think some of you already know it, some of you maybe don't, but when we charge car from AC, the main thing that we power is the onboard charger, which is inbuilt in every car. That's why I told that what type of car you're gonna charge is like an important factor, because every car manufacturer installs this onboard charger, or you can also call it like an inverter in the car, and it usually limits the power to maybe 7 kilowatts, maybe 11, maybe 22 kilowatts. It really depends on the car you drive. And when we charge with AC, we charge onboard charger, which converts the current to DC, and then it charges the batteries. But when we charge from DC, we usually charge the battery straight. We don't have anything in between. And we usually share the charging infrastructure, but on AC, sometimes we have to bring our own cables. So that's also a little note to add. So Terra AC wallbox, which is also our like a main product for AC. It's been tested in the field for, I would say, more than 4 years now. It has had many updates, but still the product remains the same. We have just new firmware upgrades to make the charger more reliable, more stable, more easy for the user, and so it to be safer. So AC wallbox could be installed everywhere where you need, basically, in your home or flat or office, or even in parkings, some publicly or shopping centers. The main thing that you have to take in care that average charging time is usually from 2 to 8 hours. It also depends on the battery and also depends on the power of your onboard charger. So AC, and we now offer mainly 3 power variants. We have single phase units with the maximum power of 7.4 kilowatts. The connection is one phase, 32 amps. Then we have 3 phase variants of 11 or 22 kilowatts. and respectively 16 or 32 amps. Then we have two variants. We have a charger with socket. The socket comes with a shutter, so the water and dust doesn't get inside the connections. And then we have a cable with type 2 connector, and usually the cable is 5 meters. I forgot to translate some words, sorry. And other options we have for the chargers, we can have a display, like in this picture. And when you order a charger with display, it usually comes with MID certification. And inside you will find two RJ45 Ethernet ports. So you could then chain your installation. You could install Ethernet from one charger to the another charger. Mainly all chargers come with RFID. You could tap your card in this corner to read RFID, and also there are specific variants if you want to install a SIM card for a data connection for 4G. And basically Terra AC has, as I mentioned, connection possibilities. You could connect Ethernet, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth is in every unit. It doesn't matter what type of code, what type of product you order, these are the options that always will be there. And 4G is like an additional option. If there's no other way to guarantee the data connection, you could use a SIM card. The ways you can charge or start your session or authenticate, there are four main ways. You could have the charger in free vending mode. That means that you just plug in your car and the charge session starts. You don't have to do anything. No RFID cards, no apps. It mainly works perfectly fine in your home when it's private. And then you could use Charger Sync mobile app to have a Bluetooth authentication. You connect to the charger via your phone, you click start, and then the charging session starts, and then you can click stop and the charging session stops. Then you can use RFID cards to tap on the charger to start or stop, and then you can integrate your charger with OCPP so then the charger could send data to another server, and the server processes when to start and when to stop the charging sessions. There are simple ways to have a load balancing solutions. We'll talk about them more in the future. So there are single load balancing solutions for one charger, and then for many chargers, we have also dynamic and static, and dynamic with renewable. Those all are available for single or many more chargers. And of course, the Terra AC has integrated a lot of protection against electrical problems or anomalies to protect you, your home, and of course your car, which costs a lot of money. So how do we manage the chargers? Of course, for example, we have installed it. Now what to do with it? We have three ways to use the charger. For everyday user, ABB offers a mobile app. It's called Charger Sync. And this mobile app is mainly used to start your charging sessions, to authenticate and control it. Then you could also use the app remotely to connect to your charger if you have an internet connection. That means you don't have to use Bluetooth to be near the charger. You could just sit in your living room, open your phone and see, oh, my car has been charged, or I want to charge my car since the electricity price maybe went down. You just open app, click start, and the charging session will start. There are options to add RFID cards in this app, to have simple load balancing modes, and also to set up some charging schedules. After that, you can have a nice look at your charging sessions, see statistics and reports, and of course, you can also update your charger. For installer, we offer another app which is called Terra Config. It's mainly made for configuring the chargers, so it could be used by other users in the future. So the main idea of this app is that you could just configure it and leave the rest to the everyday user or some site manager. You could create templates. So you could, for example, if you have a site where you have 5 chargers, you could create a template based on one charger, set all the parameters for it, and then just upload it to all the chargers, and you know that all the chargers will have the same configuration and they will work together. Also, this app lets you to set up the dynamic load balancing configuration, and it helps more to check what kind of problems your charger would have or find some errors. And next, what ABB offers is a web portal. It's mainly used for people who have more than one charger, who have like a charging site. And you could remotely access your chargers, remotely control users, control RFID cards. You could get nice, beautiful tables, reports, graphs, and statistics of your charging sessions. You could check availability, have reports, and error problem solving. And what's the main selling point for this? That it's for free. You could have everything. Doesn't matter how many chargers, how many users, how many RFID cards. It's all for free. What I also talked about in the beginning, it's really important where you're going to mount your charger. There's no problem if you want to mount it on the wall, but if you want to mount it somewhere where you don't have a wall, then ABB offers some pedestals to mount it. We offer 2 types of pedestals for 1 or 2 chargers. It's called back-to-back. Basically, the chargers are mounted together from different sides. It's made of metal. I keep class 10, so it's pretty sturdy. It's also warranty. It has warranty for corrosion if you don't, of course, scratch it. And the one remark that I wanted to say that it needs an additional concrete base to be mounted, like underneath the pedestals, so it can stand freely. Of course, you can mount it like on an asphalt with just screws. It should be fine, but like in this case, there's like a concrete brick under the ground and the charger is mounted. And also I've seen some installations where people don't have space to install MCB and RCD for protection. They can just mount a small enclosure here, just an IP65 enclosure that can be mounted outside, and just have your MCBs, RCDs here, just lock it so nobody can access it. And it also works in that way. So ABB offers also these kind of beautiful small RFID tags. Those are mainly used for authentication to start or stop your charging session. There's possibility to add virtual limits in terms of virtual money. So you could limit how many some of the card users could charge monthly. And ABB also supports third-party RFID cards. So if your company has some cards which they're using, I don't know, for office doors or some other access cards, if they fulfill these standards, then they should be integratable and they should work with our chargers. And one RFID card is included with every charger you order. So if you want more cards, of course, you can order them. They are really cheap. And yep, let's talk about more about these apps. The first one I mentioned was Charger Sync. I will show how the apps work a little bit further in our meeting, but the main functionalities are you could start and stop your charging. You could add more than one charger to your app. If you have like an office location, you could also have like 3 or 4 chargers. You could configure your network. You could have software updates. You could set up static load balancing, some energy plans. You could remotely also see the status of your charger if it has a network connection. You could have some simple problem solving and also statistics and session reports. From the installers, as already mentioned, we have TerraConfig app. You could configure network. You could configure OCPP server. You could have charger and network diagnostics. So you could see what's wrong with your network. Is the signal too weak? And you could also diagnose what's the problem with the charger. It shows error logs. You could also update software, set up load balancing, set up free vending if it's needed for your site. And also you could enable third-party cards, which I already talked about, to set up your own cards, not these ABB small ones. And you could also do a factory reset of the charger if, I don't know, something went wrong, something isn't working. You could just reset the charger and do the configuration again. About the portal, also we'll look into that a little bit more, but you could set up users and define specific RFID cards to the users. You could set charging limits from virtual money. You could remotely check device logs and see what's the problem when the charger lost internet, or if somebody says, my RFID card is not working. You just go into the charger, see its logs, see who and when authenticated the RFID card, and was it successful or not. You could check that everything remotely. You could set up different load management settings. You could have beautiful reports, graphs, trends, and statistics. And you could define access to other users. So for example, you as a site manager could define access to accounting, so they can, for example, get a monthly report of charging sessions, but they couldn't like edit any parameters or just do something wrong with the charges. And let's talk about load balancing, which is a really, really important factor in our homes, in our offices, because we have so much electricity only to be used. If we want to install even chargers, then we have to think about where are we going to get the power. So the simplest way is static load balancing. It doesn't matter if we have one charger or many chargers, we can do static load balancing. For one charger or mobile phone is the controller. We set up how many amps the charger will use on our mobile app, and the charger won't use more. There's a beautiful feature I will show later that we can create like a load plan depending on day, depending on hours. We could set up so the charger changes this value on its own. If we have a static load balancing with multiple chargers, we have to use ABB portal or other OCPP third-party portal, so the portal can tell chargers what to do. This way it works if we have, for example, in this case, 3 chargers, we could limit the total power all the charger uses. For example, if we have 3 22 kilowatt chargers, we know that 22 kilowatt charger requires 32 amps. But for example, our charging site has only 62 amps. We have a separate MCB with 63 amps. We just put into the portal that let's have the chargers not use more than 63 amps, and it will work perfectly fine. Dynamic load balancing works pretty much the same way it works with static, but in the middle we have this beautiful device which we call is a smart meter. In practicality, it's just an energy counter which has a Modbus output, and Modbus output is connected to only one of the chargers. If you have one charger, then it's connected to the one charger. If we have many chargers, then we still need to connect it just to the one charger. So we connect Modbus to one charger, and then we configure the site either on our phone or in the portal. We configure all the limits, and I'll talk about limits in the next slide. This is a simple example. We have a single home, and the user has installed a smart meter and a charger, and he is using his mobile phone to set up all this load balancing. So he has a connection of 25 amps, And in the app, he sets maximum level what could be used by charger. Usually it should be less than 90% of your electrical connection, what you have. So in this, the user set 22 amps. When the charger reaches this maximum level, it will immediately drop the power to 50% of its power. So if we have 22 kilowatt charger, it will drop it to 11 kilowatts. And then the user sets up the next level. It's called load reduction base level. And it means that if the load reaches this level, which is set up for 90 amps, the charger will slow down the power and slow down the charging. And this time, this example, we have like a static load. When the charger is going, it's around 20 amps or around 90 amps. And somebody in our house has turned on an oven. The Modbus meter detects that there has been a high demand, and it immediately sends the signal to the charger, so the charger reduces its power. It reduces the power of 50%, and then after each 2 minutes, the charger is trying to raise the power, to increase the power, depending on what is happening in our electrical network. So that's the way dynamic load balancing works. It doesn't matter if you have one charger or many chargers, it's pretty much the same. The Modbus is sending all the time the data of our electrical connection, and all what's left of the power we are not using could be used to charge your cars. And what's new about Terra AC? So from firmware version 1.8.21, which came like 3 months ago, ABB now supports prioritization of green energy, where we could connect our solar panels, use a smart meter, and then a charger. And the charger could charge in 3 different modes. It's solar only. It works the way that if we have enough power, at least 6 amps, the charger will only use what's left of the solar energy, which are you not consuming at the moment. It will use for charging. Then we have an eco mode. This eco mode uses all what's left of your solar panels, plus some electricity from the network if it's needed. And max power, it will not prioritize solar energy. It will just charge your car at power that your car needs. From 1.8, we also support static IP address. Before it was only dynamic. And we finally have an update, which we could use an app to update all the firmware versions in one package. Before we had to do one update before the other. That's about Terra AC news. Before that, I will try to show some of those applications and answer also some questions if we have. Let's see in the chat if we have some questions.
Yes, we have some questions there.
We have in chat, yeah?
2 questions.
So Renee asks, do ABB chargers also monitor electricity exchange prices? No, we don't. We can integrate our chargers with other companies' portals or apps that do it. Or there are simple ways to do it without increasing the charger price. Because the main problem, we want to stay competitive. Our chargers should have a good price and they should be like a quality unit. You could install your charger, connect it to another supplier. You will have to pay some monthly fee to check electricity prices from Nord Pool. So our chargers don't have it, but we could offer you a solution to do it. Or you could use mobile apps which connect to your car, and they say for your car to start a charging session. Those mobile apps, I could name a couple of them. That one is the most used. It's called Gridio. I will write it in the chat if you want to find or look more about it. So this app connects to your car and it checks the prices of electricity, and it tells you could set up the limit, like at what price you want to charge. So the app tells your car to start the charge, and if the wall box is already connected, then the charging session will start.
That's Gridio is very popular in Estonia.
Yeah, because the app is easy to use, and it does not increase like a cost of the charger anyway. I hope that answered that question, and I have a question from Yuris. ABB is V2H or V2X chargers? I don't know what's V2X, but V2H, I think.
It's vehicle to home. It's first one.
Yeah. Vehicle to home, no. ABB does not support yet vehicle to home. If you want to power your home from your vehicle, we will have a separate product for that. I don't know when it is planned to be launched. I've heard that it will be Q1 of 2025, but if you need more info about that, I could check. Before we had one product for it, but it wasn't so required from the market, so we kind of discontinued it, but we are planning to have a product for it if the market requires it. About the question,
X means bi-directional charging.
No, yeah, we will have a bi-directional charger in the future, but I can't tell when. So we could look into that. If you need some more info, then we could look into it. I guess asks if only Roam Solar 1 or 3 phase. So we have solutions for 1 or 3 phases. It doesn't matter. It depends only on your installation. You have to install a smart meter for 1 phase or 3 phase, and then you should install a charger also for 1 or 3 phases. So it works for both of those. Maybe you have something in Q&A. Okay, then I'll try to share my mobile screen. I see another question from Raymond. To use web portal, is any payment or free for users? So all apps and also web portal is free for all users. You could register your account yourself. You don't have to ask anything from us, but there's a little how to say, a turn in this portal, that if you want to have more than one charging site, I will show later, then you have to upgrade your account. And the way we upgrade account is that you send the information to any of your ABB contact persons, and we send a request to the factory and they update your account. So they change your account from basic to professional. But there's no limitations also for basic account. It's just some quantity limitations. You could add 10 chargers, but if you need more chargers, then you have to update it. But all the updates and all the apps are for free.
Do I understand right that the basic end user, it's for free, and if you like to be installer, then you need to contact to the ABB?
Yeah, that's true. I see another question from Gintaras. How smart meter is connected to charger? Wireless or... Okay, so there's no wireless connection. We use Modbus, Modbus RS485. It uses 2 or 3 small cables that need to be connected from the smart meter to your charger. We're not relying so much on wireless because we know how wireless works, and then we want the customer to have 99% uptime. and so we mainly use only wired connection. So I will try to share now my phone screen. I hope you could see it. And I will go through some apps just to see how they work. So one of the first apps I talked about is Charger Sync. In all those apps, you could register yourself, so it's all for free. You could download them in Apple Store or Google Store. It doesn't matter. So when you log in, you will see this screen. And now I'm trying to connect to the charger. The charger is here around me, so let's wait for a couple of minutes. And on the left side, you could see some options. You could see list of chargers. If you have more than one charger, all of the chargers will be visible here. So you could add chargers. The way you add chargers is if the charger is near, it will be visible here, or you could scan a barcode. The barcode is located on the side of the charger. You just scan it with your camera, and then you enter the PIN code. The PIN code comes with every charger in a box. There's like a small plastic card, which shows the serial number and the PIN code. So that's the way you add chargers. So you see I have a charger near, and it's already popping up. And so now I am connected to the charger. You see, it shows Bluetooth connected. Sorry. Let's wait a bit so it connects. As I was adding another charger, it thinks that it needs to deactivate the existing Bluetooth connection. Yep. So you hear the sound also. That means that Bluetooth is connected. You could hear that car is not plugged in. When you plug in your car, you should be able to press this button, which is called charge, and you should be able to start and stop your charging session. When you start the charging session, there will be visible data in the middle of the screen about how fast you are charging, at what how long is the charging session. If you have some prices attached there, then you will see about some price, how much money you are also spending. And from here, when we are connected, we could configure our charger, enter charging settings. The first which we can enable is a free vending mode, which means that everybody could access the charger. Then we could set up free vending schedule. For example, we have a charger in our home. We want to use it, I don't know, from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock to use RFID cards. But at this time, we want to have it like free vending. Maybe we have guests coming over, so they could use the charger. We could set up load balancing. It's just static load balancing. We have to input how many amps the charger will use, but we could also create a schedule. It means that we could set up days of the week and how many amps the charger will use in those days. Okay. And we could set energy plans. For example, if you know like your electricity costs like 20 cents, we save it, and then at the end, when we get a report of all the charging sessions, we could see how many euros we spent on charging. Also, we could of course update our firmware, so it's every time it checks for updates. We could set up our internet connection, so Wi-Fi 4G or Ethernet connection. We could set up charging modes. Only here we could see max speed because we don't have a smart meter connection. If we'd have a smart meter connection which supports the solar panels, then we could see other modes also. And then we have some support, frequently asked questions like what to do if we have this and that problem with the charger. So the app seems to work pretty good. Of course, there's always updates for the apps also, so make sure your app is like the newest version. Yep, so, okay. And another part with what we can do here is we could set up RFID cards. So now you see I don't have any cards yet, but when I click add, it says that I have to tap the card on the sensing area of the charger and please add one card. So I have this small card. I will click start and it says adding. I'm just using the card on the charger. You see the charger read the card. Okay, now the charger read the card. You could enter your name or email address and the card will be activated. So that's about application charger sync. So we'll have.
Can I ask about the reports? Can I have some end of the month, some report if I have different users, like 2 and 3 users?
Yeah, you should be able to export the sessions depending on what type of users you have. So I don't know if I can show you example because this charger has like no sessions.
I just know that's possible.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I have like statistics here. I clicked on last 7 days. And you could check like RFID and you could select the card. Okay, now it's showing. If I added some RFID cards, you could have the numbers of RFID cards here. So you could select the number and. Yep, and you could report, you could download report, but here's no charging sessions. So
Yeah.
So I couldn't show it. So just a sample unit.
That's very good.
Yep.
Yep.
And you could download the reports in Excel or PDF. Depends on what file works best for you. So the next app is used for installers. It's called TerraConfig. I hope you can see it on the screen. So this is the dashboard when you open the app. So you have 3 options. You could configure a charger. You could prepare for installation. Prepare for installation means that it's a new feature last week released, that there are some locations where there could be problems with bad internet connection, that your phone has no internet. You could prepare for installation. That means you could prepare all the parameters which the charger will need in future. You just go to the location and update the charger with this. And you could just update charger firmware. And you could see all your latest installations, and you could see like all the chargers which you visited before as an electrician. And you could check like what settings you put in those chargers. The main reason we use this app is to configure a charger. So I connect to the device. The devices will be on this list, and if you can find the device on this list, of course, you can scan the QR code. You tap on the name. You could choose a preset or start from scratch. Just click confirm. So the charger beeps. That means that we have made the Bluetooth connection. You could see it on the right corner where it shows disconnected. Now you see on the left corner, the charger has no internet connection, so none of the icons are green. But you could set all the parameters here, like max current location. You could set up a name. You could set up free vending, configure connections. You could connect the charger to other third-party server, or it's connected to ABB. It's connected to ABB server by default. You could set up energy management, which is like a static limit, but also you can connect and configure the Modbus settings. So you click on Modbus here down, and it will show some options for you. So local load management, it's only when you have one charger. Cloud load management is when you have more chargers and they will be connected to the ABB cloud, or you have some local controllers, some other type of PLC, or some your own design that will control the charger. You could also configure those. So for this example, I'll use local load management, and you could use Modbus RTU or Modbus TCP/IP. And for example, if you choose Modbus RTU RS485, you need to select a manufacturer. The chargers also work with other manufacturer smart meters, not only ABB. But you click ABB, then you have to find the model of the smart meter you're connecting. You see some models are solar supported also. For example, we will use some device. You click confirm, and then you have to match all these communication settings to the settings you are putting into the smart meter. The smart meter that requires like you to put a couple of settings into it, and then you have to match them on the app. And here you can set the limit. If you have a smart meter 1-phase or 3-phase, you could set the grid limit, which means the connection of your object. For example, you have 20 amps. You could set also maximum phase imbalance, but advanced options, you could set like the top limit, alarm limit, which will drop like 50% of the power. Then you have upper limit, which will change the amount of 1 amp and wait 5 seconds to change it for 1 amp. Then lower limit, when it reaches the lower limit, it will try to improve the power. Also wait 5 seconds and change the power from 1 amp. And then you have also options for solar panels. If my customer has solar panels, you could choose like what type of charging mode he will use. These charging modes are also changeable while you are charging if you are using the Charger Sync app. So you just save and hopefully everything works and you will have made yourself an energy dynamic load management. There's like there's options to configure also voltage free input and output if you want to create some, I don't know, logic. For example, if charging starts, you want to turn on, I don't know, a light outside, or if the error is somewhere on the charger, you could send like a notification to somewhere, like to a relay or some smart panel. And also you could have some voltage-free inputs. For example, if you send an input from a controller, then it enables or disables the charger or pauses the charging session or sets the charger to free vending mode. And you could also set a schedule, the same it was in the previous app. You could have like weekdays, and you could set like amps, for example, 10 amps. Yep. And then in the end, you just click save, confirm configuration, and hopefully everything's successful. You get your internet, your load balancing, and all the solutions. Another what I wanted to show, another feature what I wanted to show is that when you go here under the latest installations, for example, you have a colleague that like works in the field with you, you could transfer some of the chargers which you commissioned. You could select them and you could transfer them to owner. So you could just write people's email and he will get all the configuration about this charger on his TerraConfig account. So that's another cool feature. I think that's about it of the updates. About sorry, not updates, but the apps, and I'll show some more about ABB this portal. Oh, I'll try to.
Can I ask that simple question? If I lose mine PIN code, what's the included in the box in the package? What's happened?
So if you lost the pin code, it happens a lot. There's no problem. ABB has a database. We keep all the pin codes, but the pin codes we keep are the factory-made pin codes. So if you install a charger, there's a possibility to change the pin code also. And if you change the pin code and you've lost that pin code, then I cannot check like what's the pin code you changed it to. At that time, the only option is to write to ABB customer support like a ticket. They will reset the charger's pin code to the default version which was set up in the factory. So don't worry if you lost your pin code, just give a call to Melis and he will call me.
Do I remember right? If you made first login, its PIN code will be sent to email.
Yeah, and also if you remove the charger from your charger sync account, you will receive an email that hey, you removed this charger from your account. The PIN code is this in case you lost it. So you will receive an email. So I will try and share my screen and show how the web portal looks. So this is the web portal we offer to our clients. It's for free, as I mentioned before. So when you log in, you will see this overview of your charging sites, of your what's happening. So you see some sessions, how many sessions the chargers had, how many electricity, how many chargers, what happened in August, today, a charger availability, like what's the status of the chargers, and then like you could see some, sorry, it always happens like that because I was logged out so long. Yep. So you could see some more info about month or about year, all the nice, beautiful graphs, like how many people have been charged, how many kilowatts. So the next page we can move on is charging site. Here you can add new charging sites or objects. You could set up like in this time customer has 4 objects under those sites. He has 1, 6, 1 and 6 chargers. You could see all the info like where it's located, what's the charger status, are the chargers available, are some of them charging or some of them are available. Unavailable means that they either don't have internet connection right now or they have some error and they're not working. You could click on the charging site and see more what's happening with the chargers. For example, here you could see chargers, their PIN codes also. You could see like network connection is fine, customer has Wi-Fi, some statuses, some cars are charging, some chargers are available. And power, if that's the power of the charging right now. I see some sessions going on. Seems that the cars are already full. And on the right side, you could have some icons to send a reset to charger, hard reset or soft reset. You could stop the charging session also remotely. And under status, you could see more info about this particular charger. You could see some statuses like, is the free vending enabled? You could enable free vending or disable it. And you could also adjust some loads. You could see like what's happening between the phases. We see that looks like there's some car charging on one phase only, probably a Nissan Leaf. Then you could say also some statistics see about this particular charger. You could see charging curve of last session, which was finalized, yeah. And you could see like amps, voltages, how everything is working. And you could see also charging sessions about this particular charger. Also, there's a possibility to check charger logs. So you see the charger is sending all kind of information to the web portal all the time. You see, it's mainly every minute is sending some information. You could filter what's needed to check remotely, like was there some problems with the RFID cards. Then you could check start transaction, for example. You could check like this week, and you could search, and you see that the RFID tags with their own numbers are accepted and everything works fine. Everything should be working fine. Maybe there's a problem with the customer's card. Also some statistics, and also you could set up a hybrid load management for all the sites. Or you could see, for example, here, customer has a site and I click hybrid load management. So we could use a static load management for all the chargers without smart meter, or if you have a smart meter, then we click here. Here we have to choose the serial number of the charger who we connected the smart meter to. Then we put the limits, like connection, upper limit, and then we'll show also the lower limit. And we could set up some groups, also like a VIP group that the power will not be controlled. Mainly they will get the most power. High group may be load controlled, but medium group knows that every charger will be prioritized as low priority, and all the chargers will have their load balanced at any possible times. So that's about charging sites. We can create as much charging sites as we need, and we can also add as much chargers as we need. So that's about charging sites. The adding and creation is really simple. You just click add a new charging site, fill some names, electricity pricing, address, location, and some basic data. And then the charging site is added. And to add chargers is also really easy. You just click here to add the charger. You input the serial number and PIN code, click OK. And if the charger is connected to the internet, or even if it's not connected, it will show up here, but it will get the configuration and all the information only when we have an internet connection. So the next part of this portal is user management. We could manage users remotely. We could manage their charging cards, which are these ABB cards, or your other cards. It really doesn't matter. But you could add users by their charge, set up their names so you see who was charging at what time. You could set up them some money, virtual money. So if they use all this money, they won't be able to charge. You could top up the balance or withdraw some money. You could also delete the cards or block for temporary time. And the adding is really simple. You just enter the charge card ID, which I don't know if you can see, but there are small numbers here. You just add those numbers and type them here. You add the username and some email, and everything should be working fine. And those are all the users which will be allowed to charge on any charging site. Of course, you can create a simple logic in terms that some users will be able to charge only on some charging sites, not on all. That's really easy to set up, and also no problems for that. And you could see all the charging sessions. You can filter them by time, by charging site, by charger serial numbers, and on the bottom you could download the report on PDF or CSV, which is like an Excel format, so everything will work fine. What else? We could remotely update chargers from our professional view. You could update them. You could change some configuration also for the chargers. So the possibilities are a lot. I won't go so much in the details since we also have a part of the presentation left. So I'll stop sharing it. Do you have any questions about this portal? So
No, that was everything clear.
Edgar
Yeah.
has one question.
Yeah.
Can the installer remotely access the charging stations if there is some error? So if you are using our ABB portal, then of course you can access the charging station if there is some error. Because if the charger has internet, we can remotely check what's wrong with the charger. We can still send them updates or resets, but if we have to do a factory reset or I don't know, fiddle with the internet settings, then we have to visit the site. Connect to the charger via Bluetooth, check the parameters, what's wrong with it, and then we have to make sure the charger has an internet connection. If charger has internet, then we can remotely access it. Okay, let's move to the final part of the presentation. Which will be about DC products. I'll try to share my screen. Okay, hopefully you can see it.
Yes.
Yep, so ABB, as I mentioned, has a lot of products also in all-in-one products. And let's quickly look at what ABB is offering. So we have Terra DC wall box. It's a DC charger mounted on the wall. If you want to mount it on a pedestal, it's possible, but ABB is not offering a pedestal themselves, so you have to have somebody build it for you. Then we have freestanding units. We have Terra 54, which is a 50 kilowatt charger. It cannot be upgraded to higher power. It's just 50 kilowatts, and it has up to 3 connections. Then we have Terra 94, Terra 124, and Terra 184. All those chargers could be upgraded to higher power from 94 to 124 to 184. And from Terra 124, we offer 2 parallel charging sessions from DC. So on Terra 54, you could charge your car from DC, one car from DC and one car from AC. And in all those chargers, you could have more than 2 cars from the DC. And all those chargers, you could also add an AC socket. So if you need to charge 3 cars at the same time, you could also add an AC socket. Then we have Terra 360, which has 360 kilowatts, and then the new A400, which has 400 kilowatts. And let's look quickly, briefly into each of those products. So Terra DC wallbox is 24 kilowatt peak. Output is 60 amps, and it's also supporting 920 volt DC for newer cars or some heavier vehicles. There are not a lot of options. Either you have 1 cable or 2 cables for CCS2 or CHAdeMO, and 2 cable lengths, 3.5 or 7 meters. So you could charge 2 cars, probably have 7-meter cables, so they could wrap around and park with every side. And also you could order this mobile cart if you need the charger to be mobile, for example, in some service locations. So Terra 54 is like the oldest charger we are offering. It started with Terra 51. Some of those chargers are still working in Estonia from 2010. They're still active and then being every day used. So we have more than 10,000 chargers installed, and we could have all options for all cars. So CCS2, CHAdeMO, and AC. For AC, we could have either a cable or a socket. Those are also possibilities. We have variants also with 920 volts for newer EVs or heavy vehicles. The charger has really stood its ground for a lot of years. It's really reliable, and it has 99% availability. And remotely we can access, service it. We could also install payment terminals if it's needed. and all the good things that comes with it. You could have plug and charge options. That means that you don't have to use any RFID cards. You just come with your car. The charger checks your car ID, which is specific for every car. And if you have set up the car ID in your system, then specific cars could charge without any authentication. So it has a touch screen, emergency power button, and pretty much everything you would require of a charger. Then we have a series which is called the Terra 94, 124, and 18.4. So it's a modular design. You could upgrade the chargers. There are free spaces inside for power modules to be installed. And as I mentioned, 124 and 184 supports 2 DC charging sessions at the same time. We have the same 920 volts for all these chargers. We have integrated cable holders. So if you order variants with longer cables than 3.9 meters, so the cables are not touching the ground, they're not rubbing against hard surfaces and not being damaged. And all the variants you could think of, CCS2, Shademo, AC Type 2, cable or socket, also possible for these. And you could order even 6-meter or 8-meter cables if it's needed for some specific customer. What I meant by upgrading is that Terra 54 has 5 slots of power modules, which are all used, but these have some free spaces which you could install 30 kilowatt power modules to be upgraded for the future. For example, customer could pay less money for this charger for Terra 94 if it's what he needs today, but in the future he will need 2 to charge 2 cars from DC. Then he could upgrade it, just install more 2 power modules, and he will have 120 kilowatts and 2 charging sessions at the same time. So some beautiful pictures from installations. Sadly, no pictures from Latvia, but of course we have installed 30 plus chargers, I think, here now, right now in Riga, in Latvia. So here's a specific variant with 80-meter cables for some port where they need to charge heavy vehicles. Yeah, about Terra 360. So this is 360 kilowatts, a lot of power, but you could charge your car, if the car supports it, around 100 kilometers in 3 minutes. So the outlets have dynamic power allocation. That means that different cars can take different power from DC also, and the charger can allocate power for what type of car are you charging. For example, if you have a car that supports, like, I don't know, 200 kilowatts, then the charger will give 200 to one car and the rest to the other car. And you could have up to 500 peak amperes in each connector. Also, Terra 360 supports plug and charge. It's easy to use because cables are 5 meters long, so you don't have to order specific variants with longer cables. There are integrated cable holders, so the cables are not brushing around the hard surfaces. And it's also friendly for wheelchair users, which is nowadays a mandatory. So yep, the design is pretty, and there are a lot of lights and a lot of screens for users to have clear information and visibility. So on the top we have indicators that you could see from far away if the connector is available, or in the white color if you have this here, that it's been used. Then we have a 15-inch touch screen for main user, and then we have indicators on both sides, here and here. We could have the blue line in the shows that how many percentage your car already has charged. For example, I don't know, in this case, like 40% the battery has been charged, and this green is like a simple indicator of remaining time. And of course, you could also see all this information on the screen. Here you could see also it has a payment terminal, RFID, and this version had an optional advertisement screen to show some ads for users which they are charging. And our new biggest power house is A400, which was shown like a month ago. It will be completely new charger, completely built by ABB from A to Z. Everything is built in-house, so the same indicators to see from far away. New design of cable holders, which will open to the side. Up to 600 amps in each connector. You could see connectors, also availability here around them. There will be integrated 4 buttons, so the screen won't be touch screen anymore, but it will be 32 inches big. And also there will be a new payment terminal. So as I mentioned, ABB has made all this by themselves, and they made new connectors. These connectors are made by ABB, and ABB also made new 100 kilowatt power modules, which are inside the charger. And so 50 kilowatt power allocation. So that means you could share those 400 kilowatts in steps of 50 kilowatts, 600 amps peak current, cable length 4.8 meters, really good efficiency, stable parameters to use the charger outside. And also ABB is looking to support OCPP version 2.0 in the future. And what's new about ABB all-in-one solutions? So the first news I wanted to talk about is that ABB patented and created a new air-cooled connector. This connector will support longer peak current times. So in reality, usually peak current for chargers, for example, if we had a cable, 500 ampere cable, usually the peak current which the with the cable and the charger could supply is around 10 to 15 minutes. That's because the connection gets hot and it needs to cool down. Then the charger limits the amperes to some steady state. And ABB has made a new connector, which is still air-cooled, so no liquid cooling. But the way it works, there is some gas in these orange tubes. When the connector gets hot, the gas turns into some small particles, which are I don't know how to say it in English. Steam particles, and the steam particles cool this black thing, this radiator, which is directly connected to these power pins. And in doing so, we could improve the peak current like up to even 2 times. So it's really being tested right now. And the good thing is that all the parts of the connector are interchangeable. So if somebody drops the connector and damages something, you don't have to change all the cable, all the connector. You could change some pins. You could change the outer mating interface or all the construction outside elements. Another news is that Terra 124 and Terra 184 got a facelift. That means that we updated them in terms of visual and in terms of some technical features, that they got the new Air 500 connectors. There are no LED indicators around the connectors. All the screen and all the connectors are moved down, so they are wheelchair friendly. And also integrated, we have made a new cable strain system. So it supports the heavier 500 amp cables also, and added new payment terminals also. And of course, we don't want to forget about load balancing. We already talked about AC chargers, but ABB is making sure also the DC chargers are and have load balancing solutions. ABB created a cloud connection controller where you could connect various chargers, connect them to one switch, and then this switch is connected to this ABB Terra Gateway Pro charger, and you could put a static limit for all chargers. That means all chargers together when they're working, they won't use more than you are setting up. In the future, we are looking to improve this with updates that you could have dynamic load management and also some Modbus functionality to get some Modbus data. It's being requested from the market, so it's a monthly payment for every connector you have on your cloud, so you could change the settings in the cloud connection. So now it supports Terra XX4, that means 124, 184, Terra 360, and A400 is being tested now. There are a lot of charging modes, like equal power, that all the chargers share the power. Then this equal power, that equal share, that the cars get what they need and also share it. And the first in, first out means that the first car came, it gets more power and it gets first out of the charging session. Yep. And to finalize, where can I find info about ABB chargers? The easiest way is to type just in Google like Terra AC, and probably the ABB link will come forward first, and you could find all information there. All the documentation, all the catalogs, all the manuals, and you could also find their videos. If you cannot find something there, there's a specific ABB library, which is for all documents. Of course, it's not just related to the e-mobility products, the chargers, but you could type into this ABB library just Terra AC, and it will find a lot of information, and then you can sort that information by the language or categories. For DC products, we have a separate page. It's under ABB e-mobility, and it's really beautiful page. It's being redone right now. I will probably open it just to show you. So yeah, it's a new page. You could find everything you need about all products, DC wallbox, Terra, all in one. You could have also information about split systems, about cloud services, about how to manage your chargers, and about service packages which ABB provide. For example, if you look at Terra 360, you could see beautiful pictures, like all the information, what's the main key points, like how it looks, how is the design, how is the flexibility, all the technical details. We could have data sheet. If you need more information about Terra 364, then you should click just on resources or look into the ABB library. Just write Terra 360 and you will find all the user manuals, installation manuals, drawings, declarations, and so and so. Yep.
But I like that if you like to download user manual, it's mostly in local languages available.
Yeah.
It's in Lithuanian, in Latvian, in Estonian. It's translated. It's very good.
Yeah, that's what I also wanted to show. If you open this link, which I included in the presentation, you will get this ABB site, just Terra AC Wallbox. And sorry, this is not the right one. So yeah, if you need some manuals, you just scroll down, you see manuals. There's a quick start guide, which is only in English, but you have installation and user manuals in a lot of different languages, also Latvian, Estonian, also Lithuanian, so everything should be translated. And also some manuals for how to install your pedestal. So, yep, I think that's it for me. Here are my contacts if somebody needs them, or you could of course contact BayWa if you have any questions regarding chargers or anything related to the ABB products. I hope the guys are strong and they will mostly support you, but we work together as a team, so feel free always to reach out also to me.
I have a question about pedestals.
Yes.
We have got today morning's request about the two sides AC charging. What you can offer?
Yes. We can offer also AC two sides, as I showed before. So it should be fine. Of course, you have to check if they are stock or not at the moment. I don't know. I see that we don't have any questions left in terms of DC chargers. So I also am a bit over the time I was allowed to present, but hopefully that's fine. So thank you. I guess, Melis, do you have any other words for
No. Yes, words, yes, questions, no. We thank you, Henry. It was deeply technical, like training. We like it very much. That seems that if any customers have more questions, they can contact persons in BayWa.
Definitely.
Thank you for all that you have participated, and see you in next time.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Take care of yourselves, and let's keep EV available. Bye.
Thank you all. Bye.